Amen. Turn with me to Matthew chapter 25 today. I think I'm going to start there. All righty. Matthew chapter 25. And we're going to start. And let's hold your finger there. I'm coming back to there. Let's go ahead and start with Luke. I just kind of feel like I'm led there. Luke chapter 14 and verse 28. Then I'll go to Matthew. Luke chapter 14 and verse 28. Luke chapter 14 and verse 28 reads, "For which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count the cost, whether he has enough to finish it? Lest after he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, 'This man began to build and was not able to finish.'" We're going to talk for a few moments, and we are going to move into Matthew 25, verses 14 and 20 through 30, We're going to talk for a few moments about, from this topic of, what do you want from your money? What do you want from your money? Now, when the Spirit of the Lord gave me this message, it doesn't sound real spiritual, and it doesn't. And a lot of ministers growing up don't like to talk to the congregation about finances. We tend to shy away from it, and then the ones that do, we get kind of upset if we think they are going overboard. Okay? And how many of you know that there is a balance in all that God says and does for us in life? And one of the things that I have come to understand is that finances and being a good steward is very, very, very important. And I remember when God sent me here to start Community Center of Hope, one of the things that the Spirit of the Lord said to me very, very sternly was, teach the people to give. And I honestly can say that along with this church, my church, I know the finances back then was one of the most giving churches that I knew of. And people, even our accountant was amazed at, first of all, the number of members that we had at Community Center of Hope, but the amount of finances that we raised. It was nothing for this 35 member. We had lots of people come through, but they didn't stay. But those that did, it was lots of times, years and years, he would just go on tilt because he couldn't believe that this house could raise $75,000, $80,000 a year with the handful of people that we had. But it was because God had taught me to teach the people to give. And so out of that and through the years, I'm not saying that I have totally arrived, and I have hit and missed. But how many of you know when you get older or mature, you start to look at things and go, you know what, I wish I had learned this when I was younger. And so as we began to deal with finances, something people don't want to talk about, don't want to deal with. Okay, we have to understand that what you and I do not manage will manage us. And so once we learn to get a hold of our finances and begin to move forward, in that building a financial freedom and allowing God to deal with you in it, it does bring freedom. It's a freedom in knowing that the bills are paid. Because I've been there, done that, where the collectors are calling and you tell them, look, for before they didn't have ID. So you'd pick up and pretend to be somebody else. Hello, walls. and tell them that they weren't here. Or you tell the kids. I remember when we were growing up, the insurance man, they don't do that. I'm really dating myself. The insurance man would come and knock on the door to, collect the insurance payment. And if mama didn't have it, she said, tell him I ain't here. So we open up the door and go, she says she ain't here. So I've been there, done that. And so through the years, I had to begin to get a grip on what God was saying to me. And so when you ask yourself, what do you want from your money? When I got to researching this out, there are over 500 verses on finances in the Bible. Yeah. And they said that there are approximately, let me back up, there are over 2,000 verses on money in the Bible. The Bible offers 500 verses on prayer, fewer verses on faith, but more than 2,000 verses on money. 15% of everything that Jesus ever taught was on the topics of money and stewardship. And yet we don't like to talk about money. Money affects every avenue of our life. And so what we have to do is begin to identify some things. So turn with me over to Matthew 25. Matthew chapter 25 now. And I'm going to start with verse 14. And then I'm going to kind of give you some things and we're going to get out of here. Okay. This is the parable of the talents. And really it's talking about money. Okay. Verse 14, for the kingdom of heaven, I love this part right here, is like a man traveling to a far country who called his own servants and delivered, this was like, his goods, not your goods. He delivered his goods to them. We are the stewards of what God is giving us. And I'm learning. If I can't steward $100, why would God give me 1,000 or allow 1,000 to attract into my life? And I think one of the greatest things I used to hear, and Pastor used to hear this too, because we come up in that part of the church world, and they're still saying it. The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. And amen, and broke poor folks sitting out in the audience, amen, amen. Do you think God is just going to rob somebody that's been a good steward and give it to you? Who can't steward $10? We've got to begin to understand, what is he saying? The wealth of the wicked is laid up from the judge. That's like Robin Hood. I guess God is Robin Hood. Rob from the rich and give to the poor. Go figure. I'm waiting to see that because I'm going to get in line if he is. Ain't no need of me lying. If it's okay. So it says that he came and delivered his goods to them. To who? His servants. Verse 15, and to one he gave 5 talents. The 5 talents represents, down here it was saying like $1,000. So he was given 5, if you put it in dollars, $5,000. To another 2, to another 1. Look at this. To each according to his own ability. The word ability means your capacity or your skills to handle, which makes me sit back and think, Lord, have I developed my skills to handle more than you're giving me right now? What would I do? How many of us dream about winning the lotto? Come on now, be real. I'm sorry. Oh, you saints. I'm sorry, y'all hypocrites. I have, and I got it spent. And we always tell the Lord, you be the first one I give to, okay? Then I got a whole list of stuff when I win this $44 million. See, I know you church folk down here don't play. Don't let me catch you out there playing either. Don't let me catch you out there playing. I love church folk. They do. I love them. I love them. You know, everything we do in the secret. Okay. Okay. Verse 15. And to the one he gave 5 talents, to the other 2, and to the other 1, to each according to his own ability. And immediately he went on his journey. Then he who had received 5 talents went and traded with them and made another 5 talents. And likewise, he who had received 2 gained 2 more. But he who had received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. Man, I'm going to come back to these verses. And he who had received 5 talents came and brought 5 others talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Look, I have gained 5 more talents besides them. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will make you rule over many things. Enter into the joy of the Lord. And he also, who had received 2 talents, came and said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Look, I have gained 2 more talents besides them. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of the Lord. Then, how many of us are in this part of the scripture right here? Just keep looking ahead. I'm getting ready to blow us up. Then he who had received 1 talent came and said, Lord, look, now we gotta let him know this is the reason. You know, for everything I do, I'm not gonna take responsibility for it, because it's not my fault that I was born poor and on the other side of the tracks. Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid, and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. But the Lord answered and said to him, you wicked and lazy servant. You knew that I reaped where I have not sown and gathered where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. Let's talk about this lazy servant who was afraid. One of the things that I found out, I was reading again, I had Eric and I bought a book long ago, and Susie Orman on finances, and you can find Dave Ramsey now, and my thing of it is, I'm old school. I like to buy books so I can mark in them, go back to them, but you can read it online, young people, whatever it is, and I just want to share some of the things that she said, because they so spoke to me. So spoke to me. And one of the first things that she said, which was so good, is that God owns everything. And our true wealth really is in Christ. How many of you know that? But we still have to sit down and ask ourselves, what is it that I want from my money? And I love this, because money is so tied to what you do. If you work with your hands, you know, there was a song that came out saying, I work hard for the money. Okay? But we have to first go back and shift and realize that God owns everything. And I love it that all in the tithing is the first place that God spoke to Marcia. I had set up under a minister. My dad, I'm a PK kid. But that was the first thing that the Spirit of God started dealing with me on. And when I looked at my finances, I remember saying to my father when he was talking to me and ministering to me about it was, I don't have enough to tithe to give. And my father said, baby, if the Lord is dealing with you on tithing, you cannot afford not to give. I'm going to move on, y'all. I'm going to move on. But I had to sit down and ask myself one of these questions. And even this week, you think you have arrived. As much as I minister with finances and much as I minister with faith, I should have big dog faith up in here with finances and money and all of that. And just this week, I discovered a leak in my condo. Oh, honey, somebody need to help Sister Bumpers. Because I went to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. I was like, oh, Jesus, where is this water coming from? Maybe Caleb has dropped some water on the floor. Caleb thought I had spilled some water. I thought Caleb had spilled some water. And so I was like, Jesus, I came on down here because I discovered it last Sunday. And I was like, okay, Lord, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Okay, I mopped it up. And I thought it's coming back. And I'm looking, I'm like, I don't see where this water's coming from. So thank you, Jesus, for a son-in-law. So I was sitting over there Sunday evening after I left and went back. And so I was like, James, I said, man, I got a leak, but I don't know where it's coming from. He said, well, Mom, we got to trace it. And he said, I'll come out there and I'll look for it. I'll look at it. All I saw was cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Dollar signs, plumbers, dollar signs, plumbers, dollar signs. I was like, oh, I was just off the chart. Okay, and I'm studying about finances. And I'm looking at the faith that you're supposed to have for the finances. And James came out Monday, him and Erica, they into this whole remodeling of their home. So they've really done really, really good. And I'll tell you, that HGTV is off the chart for them. I don't watch it. So if I got a leak, you put a pan up under it. That's what I did. I grabbed a pan, and when he found it, I was like, well, stick a pot up under it. Cut it out, plug it up. He said, no, Ma, you can't do that. It's the air-conditioned condo. What? Yeah, one of them. One of them. And I said, well, why? Well, what food would drop that in under the sink in my kitchen? That was Monday. Tuesday wasn't no better. And I'm sitting over there, and Erica's like, Erica, and James kept saying, Mama, it'll be all right. Yeah, y'all saying it'll be all right. All I can see is money. I'm just off the chart. And then I finally said, oh, please help me. I said, and I'm preaching on finances this week. Well, I'm busted because I don't have it. I just don't have it. I don't have it. Erica, Mama, it's going to be all right. Miss Bumbers, I'm going to figure it out. They took 4 different things, 4 days, but they were really good. They didn't give up. I just stick a pot under it. And then I finally told James, I said, just cut it off. He said, we can't. I said, well, cap it out. He said, we can't. I said, why not? Why you can't just put a cap on it? He said, you can't do that, Ma. It was from running my air conditioner. Well, I'm not going to burn up. I'm a young woman. I'm not going to do that. So I said, so the guy said, well, she's running an air conditioner out. I said, tell him yes. And it's 104 out there, and I'm going to keep right on running it. Yes. I'll pay PSO. Yes. But I ain't turning the air conditioner off. And I got upstairs, too. No. We're not doing that. I said, Lord, I'm not doing really well. This is not working. Okay. Erica and them, they just kept speaking faith. Oh, we got it. Thursday. They came out Thursday. And so they said, we think we got it. I mean, they were good. They would go to Home Depot, talk to the same guy, talk to the plumber, and the plumber was telling them what to do. James said, I tried that. He said, okay, let's try this. Every day they tried it. They came out faithfully, and they tried it. On Thursday, I said, I'm going to come into agreement. They said, go home and check up underneath the sink and see if it's in water. I said, I hope, okay, I'm going to try to, I'm coming into agreement with you. There won't be any water. And so you ease up on it. You open the cabinet, and you look. And finally I said, okay. Oh, praise him, praise him, praise him. Then I said, there's no water now. Oh, no, now's not a good word. Now's not a good word. I'm not in agreement. There's no water. I slept Friday morning. That was the first thing I did after the coffee bell rung. I poured me a cup of coffee and you ease it open. I said, don't put nothing back. But I ease open and I got my phone, turned my light on. I said, oh, praise him. Yep, it's still dry. Y'all, I was a cut up. Why? Why was I acting the way I was acting? What is my thing with money? I had to face that I had a fear concerning finances. And when I began to ask myself, what is it? Why am I afraid? God has always provided. Then what is my fear? Where did it come from? Because what I found out is this. We deal with finances generationally. If mama and daddy was good with their finances, sometimes we catch it. So I had to go and say, my fear of finances is not having enough. Where did that come from, Marcia? What childhood memory is locked you into not having enough? My parents did not talk about finances. They were so busy trying to what we call make a living. Thank God for my grandparents who helped my mom and dad take care of us. But subconsciously, I'm going to lay myself out as I always do. Subconsciously, in finances, I picked up in my household that there was not enough. Because if you broke something or had an accident, they will go off the chain. Why? Because they didn't know where they were going to get the money to fix the window pane that you just broke. Do you see what I'm saying? So they didn't tell me that it wasn't enough, but it was communicated subconsciously that there wasn't enough. My mom worked 2 jobs. My dad worked 2 jobs. And we never saw a day hungry. We never saw a day where we had to eat the same thing over and over and over. But when I look back on my parents' life and on my mom's life, they did a lot of things to see that we had food. I didn't understand this until I got grown, when mom and daddy would sit back and say, you guys go ahead and eat. And you'd go, because we always ate as a family. And so we're sitting there and we go, Mama, Daddy, aren't you going to eat? We're going to eat in a little bit. We're going to sit here and talk, blah, 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 blah. What was that all about? What was all about after I grew up and realized was they were making sure that we had something to eat, that we got full. And whatever else was left, then they would eat, which again reinforced not enough. So when I grew up and started dealing with finances, there was never enough. You rob Peter to pay Paul, and then Paul get mad because Peter got some, and you still don't have enough. You and I must face our fears of money, because one of the things I found out, we are happy in Jesus at tax time. Amen, Walls. You get that $3,000 or $4,000. Honey, we done bought big screen TVs, cars we can't afford. Now, ain't been paying a bill. Paying a what? Oh, no. I done paid this. Hood rich for a month. Yes, I said it. Hood rich for a month. And so this wicked servant says, I was afraid. What is your fear? When I look at this, what do I want my money to do? Do I want my money to send my kids to college? Do I want my money to take care of me when I'm older? Yes, baby. Do I want my money to bury me? Do I want my money when I retire to be able to travel? What is it that you want from an inanimate object that is very much alive that will obey you? It's hearing what you are saying and doing. Oh, I'm going to preach my own self happy because I'm going to get a piece of this. Never having enough. Didn't prepare the way that I should have prepared. Sometimes you don't have the right folk in your corner. And sometimes you miss it. But how many of you know you can circle right back around and get what you need? So I had to stop and say, okay, I had to go back over my goals again. Okay, Marcia, this week showed you have not conquered that fear. Lord, you didn't have to go and blow up my water. No, I'm just kidding. You didn't do that. I'm just playing. But you didn't have to do that. The week I'm going to preach on finance and let me know, okay, you are not quite there. But thank you, Lord, I'm not where I used to be. You have to begin to face where you are. I didn't know how much of this I was going to be real and really transparent because, like I said, my life is an open book. And so, look, the reason why Pastor and I can tell you some stories because we've been there, done that. And mamas and daddies got the T-shirts and the scars, and we don't want you to do it. We don't want you to do it. But then the thing of facing your debt. One of the things that I've had to learn was this. Plastic is the most deceiving part of finances that we have. And people can say what they want to. You know, it's been shown and said that we are going to a cashless society. How many of you know we're there? How many of you know, look, you swipe when you don't have the money in the bank to pay for it. We give the bank more insufficient fund money. Ooh, I don't. Because I'm older than that now. But I got some folk that I know. and love precious, and they just precious. And if they call and say, Nana, can I borrow? I'm talking to the camera. If they say, Nana, can I borrow $50? I have to say, can I put it in your account? Because will your account eat it up? So what I had to begin to do with finances, and I still do to this day, I have to begin to handle cash. Ooh. Because I can, you could swipe and swipe. Never check the bank account. It's so easy now, it's unreal. All you got to do is go online. I used to laugh because Walmart, I used to live on 71st. And right there in front of my apartment was Walmart. And behind there was my apartments. And I used to laugh. It used to blow my mind because I said, I think I'll walk over to Walmart. I had to learn to stay out of Walmart because Walmart will $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70 you every time. Every time. For me. Walmart is not my friend. I go to Walmart now running. I had to realize and go back and say, you need to make a grocery list because you think you got it in your head, and I just want to get out of there because I don't want to spend no more money that I forget what I actually went to get, because everything in my cart I don't even need. I haven't bought meat and spent $100. So Walmart is it's the devil. It's the devil. But I used to go to Walmart and buy what I needed, swipe my card, and that's no lie. Look, I'm walking home. I am 10 minutes to the house. And pull it up on my bank account, and it's already hit. But I found out if I use cash, it's something about that green. Child, I love, God had a dream years ago, and I just thank the Lord. I had a dream about Benjamin. I said, all I heard all night one night was Benjamin, 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 Benjamin. I woke up, I said, I want me some Benjamin, Benjamin, Benjamin. I like Benjamin. Benjamin is a good old bald-headed guy. Yes, he is. He's a keeper. I don't care if he is wearing them funny looking shoes. I'm going to keep Benji. And when I get me a Benji, I don't like to break Benji. So I can carry Benji for months and months. Because once I break him, Benji gone. Benji gone. Benji gone. Once I started to identify about my money, let me tell you, then I'll give you some goals. Once I begin to identify, let me tell you, we who are codependent, most of us, if not all of us, even in this room, we have family. I will talk for myself. I have family that I love very much. And what made me have to really go and settle down and realize that I couldn't take care of my house, your house, and their house. Oh, y'all don't hear me this morning. This is for real. Don't sound real spiritual, but it's okay. It's okay. And for a while, I was doing that. In fact, they were kind of budgeting me into their budget, I believe. If I don't have it, Mama got it. And we as moms, especially single moms, we have to really work at not overdoing because daddy don't want to do or someone don't want to do. And so my kids were not babies. My kids had babies. And so I had racked up credit cards. Is that the dream of all dreams? Get a credit card. Caleb got one in the mail, and I said, don't you, please, baby, please. You're not ready for that. Just handle your debit card. Don't do that. He said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I said, because so many times kids are targeted right out of school for credit cards. So in the event of this, I racked up credit card debt. I'm still acting as though I have money that I don't have, trying to juggle money that I didn't have to even juggle. Wasn't making what I could have or should have been making because of where I was working. That's why you have to look at all these factors. Okay? And I remember talking to the Lord because I was at the end of my rope. I was at the end of my rope. And in the midst of these finances, I couldn't pay this and I couldn't pay that. I remember crying out to the Lord, and I heard the Lord say, what I'm getting ready to say, I'm not saying do this. I'm just telling you what he said for me, that I was ashamed of. Thank you. Thank you. It is an interesting question. Seriously, in Siri, I don't like Siri, but it is an interesting question. So I'm asking the Lord, what is it that I can do? I'm afraid, and I'm old. I'm older. I should have known better. And the Spirit of the Lord said to me, he said, I forgive debts. And I said, okay. And I went on because I knew what was in my mind. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And I went on a week or so, and I heard him say again, I forgive debts. God has a way of dealing with each and every one of us. And so I said, Lord, at my age, I'm going to have to file bankruptcy. I had made quite a few transitions in my life at that time. I had moved to Charlotte and come back from Charlotte, and you know, I just had too much. So I prayed about it, and he led me to a lawyer in Broken Arrow, and the man was very, very kind. And he told me what was necessary and all of that, and I got everything together, and I'm feeling so bad that I had to do this. I'm a Christian. I felt really bad. So when I went to start the process, and the man asked for so much down, and I had just started saving. And so I went and I got X amount of dollars out of my savings, and then I was like, Lord, he said, I forgive debts. And I said, okay, I got a peace with this, so I know this is okay for me. This is okay for me. So I ended up going and wiping out my savings because I needed a fresh start. To me, just to me, God was so good to confirm to me that this is what he did. God put every dime back in my savings. But I said, Lord, I promise you, this will never happen again. You show me how to really deal with my finances and be bold enough to get my children that I love dearly out of my finances. I did that as I took the steps to, first of all, realize that I was afraid of finances. You can be afraid of not having enough, but you can also be afraid of having enough. Because I came to realize and understand that poverty is in your mind. It's not always in your bank account, because how you see it and perceive it is how you react to money. And so once God began to allow me to walk through that, and then I decided no debt. And I remember asking the lawyer, I said, man, at my age, I said, I really feel bad, and this is just really bad. He looked at me, he said, Ms. Bumpers, he said, let me tell you what I want you to do, and you will be back on top in 2 years. He said, now that you've done this, he said, the credit cards are going to bombard you, because they know that you can't do this anytime soon. So they're going to bombard you. This is what I want you to do, Ms. Bumpers. He said, get one card. And I want you to just start using it for gas and pay it off every month. Little things and pay it off every month. He said, and I promise you in 24 months you'll be back on top. I followed what he said, but I remembered I'd made a promise to God. I said, I will not be in debt and in this place ever again. And so by doing that, I really took my living down. When I came back here, my grandkids used to laugh at me because I lived in an efficiency apartment. You could spit from the bedroom to the kitchen and hit the sink. And I stayed there for 6 years. But while I was staying there for 6 years, I was stacking up my coins in my savings. When my income taxes would come in, I would stock them in the savings account and leave them. And what God was showing me how to do, because now I don't have any bills. The only thing that I kept was my car and my school loan. That's all I had. So I could get back on my feet and learn how to handle money. And as I did that, my savings began to grow so much that they would ask me when I come in, Miss Bumpers, don't you want to invest? Well, during this time, I had talked to I have friends in Oklahoma City. So now I've got to start thinking about my retirement, because where I'm working at doesn't have retirement. But now this is how good God is. As I started doing this, when I left one job, TJ Maxx, and moved to another job, making more money, praise him thank you, Father. And all of a sudden I get a package from TJ Maxx saying, you have a retirement. I'm like, I don't remember filling that out. And so I had these thousands and thousands of dollars in there. And I said, okay, well, I've lived without it this long. I didn't even know I had it. What do I need to do? I called my financial advisor. He said, you can roll it over without any penalties, any taxes, blah, blah. I said, well, okay, I don't live without it this long. Roll it over. So much so, till when I did try to get some credit, they started turning me down. I was heartbroken. Credit score shot up. I'm sitting there going, wow, okay, I can go do. They was denying me left and right. Why? Because I had learned to pay cash With what I wanted, I had no credit history now. So I had to learn that, God, this is the plan that you have for me. I can tell you right now, yes, I have a good credit score. Yes. But I found out, you know what I found out in my life? Credit score that had nothing to do with what God gave me. Not a thing. When I looked out, I went out there, when I got the Lexus, honey, he said, you got a good credit score. Yeah, okay. The guy asked you, what's your credit score? I told him my credit score. They ran it. It was that, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yes, you can get that. Then so I come home with the car. A week or so later, I started getting all these letters in the mail. You know, the ones that I was denied. I went back out there. I said, Delicious, I know you from God. Because, honey, nobody wanted to give you to me. God gave you to me. Look, Delicious, all of these. No. Why? No credit history. God, I said, God, when you say yes, can't nobody say no. Why? Because I say, Lord, I don't want nothing until you put me in the position and help me get there that I can afford it. Let me give you, real quickly, some things to do. Once you identify what you are afraid of, take the word and reframe it. Reframe what you are afraid of. If you think that it's not enough, see, I got to go back and continue to say, God, you are my provider. Now, I can't just be throwing that up there. You got to put actions to what you are saying. Okay? And so once you identify your fear, reframe it with the truth. Listen, set goals for your money. What do you mean? If I want to go on vacation, which I'm going on vacation, I'm leaving Sunday. I'm going on that, which is another one of my vision on my vision board. I can strike up. I love write things down because people can say what they want to. That vision board works. It just really does. I'm leaving on a cruise Sunday. If I want to take a vacation, I'm not robbing Peter to pay. I'm not going to leave, in other words, I'm not going to leave my bills at home unpaid to go on a vacation. I'm not doing that. I'm not coming back to flip on the light and the light won't come on. No, we're not doing that. I'll stay home first. I'm going on a vacation that has been paid. I love the layaway plans. You can go on a cruise and lay it away. Pay on it as you go. Come on. Look, this is what I found out. With my car payment, I am not trying to come up with the whole amount at one time. That's not how I work. So what I do is divide the car payment. I get paid twice a month. I divide the car payment in two payments. I take that much out. I got three accounts and my RA. And I have a primary account. And then I have my car account. And I have them take X amount of dollars out of my primary account to my car account every month. And then the people debit your money from my car account. It's going to be there. Because I had to learn that I have to live off of less if I'm going to drive what I'm driving. So set a goal for your money. What do you want your money to do? Then after you set some goals, create an action plan. How are you going to do it? What can you cut back on? What can you do without? I need to cut back on them groceries. I need Caleb to go back to school so I can cut back on them groceries. Cause I got an app on my phone with my bank account. I can see where I'm overspending just on my app and my bank account with my budget. So it's no reason for us not to do that. Once you set the goal, write the goal down. Listen here. Know how much you are indebted. How much are you in debt? Stop running from it, because it's not going nowhere. If I don't know how much I owe, and then don't be dying and leaving your family pay your bills. Come on here. Take care of yourself. Do. Know what your income is. Income means what's coming in. Know what your income is. I know I get paid twice a month. And I can count the days, and we just shout in Jesus if we got 12 of them on there. Everybody happy. We like, Lord, can you redirect this calendar? These 10-day pay periods ain't working for us. We need some days with some 11 and 12. I don't know what happened with this year, but we got to get some more 11 days on here. But you have to know if your income is fluctuating. And ask yourself, when I'm closing, when I started handling money, and even the things that I had taught before, is that I would have people even use envelopes. Go get your money out the bank, put it in an envelope so you can begin to handle real money. And you have an envelope for groceries, you have an envelope for PSO, you have an envelope for just for right now. Because I'm telling you, swiping is so deceiving. But you got to know what you got. And start a saving. Don't say you can't save. If you ain't putting up $10 in there, look, I done got so good. I can stash money at the house. Honey, that's my go-to. And now that I got Delicious, I got to really start, because I could take one debit card. When I paid my other car off, I went 4 years without having a car payment. And so having a car payment, really, I got to get my head wrapped around having a car payment. Because I wasn't wise, because I should have not ever started touching my car payment money. Because this time, I probably could have paid half of the car off. But oh no, I was dressing to the hilt. Shoes and weave and, makeup. But it's all good. But I had to realize, you can't take this card anymore. You cannot play with this card. And to this day, I still got one credit card. One. And it's not maxed out. One. So I had to sit down, know my indebtedness. And this is the thing. I'm closing. This is the thing. Is that once you know your indebtedness, you can begin really to ask God and believe God to pay things off. He'll give you the strategy. I'm closing. Stan. I asked Michael's beautiful wife. She loves to budget. And so as we were talking, she was telling me, and she just really lit up talking about budgeting and taking Michael's debit card. And Michael says she's threatened him so many times and really did it, quite a few of them. Because you're not where you were. Exactly. When you're a couple, you both may not be good with finances. So it's nothing wrong with whoever is stronger doing it, because finances will create a fight. It really will. If you don't fight with somebody, you're going to fight with yourself. So Michael's wife, I love this, has graciously said that she would help anyone that needs to have a budget set up. That she would more than be happy to help you. Let me tell you what I found out I was telling her. We all need an accountability partner. Someone that kind of say, okay, are you overspending? You may get mad, you may laugh it out, but in the back of your mind, you leave thinking, okay, I got to get this under, I got to get this, I got to take care of this. Don't be ashamed as to where you are, because I just poured me all out there today like gravy. But you know what? I'm thankful. I really give God all the glory because I am not there now. And I really do have a great credit score. And I have my condo and I have my car. I'm okay. That was the desires of my heart. That was my heart. But he saw to it. He didn't withhold anything. It's just that I needed to get concrete in some things. And I wanted to. So face your fears about your debt. I know sometimes husbands and wives don't even want to talk about debt. Somebody has to get healthy when it comes to finances. Because I don't know about you, but I want more. Treat your money with respect. That was one of the main things that she was saying in the book. And it was something as simple as how you turn your bills. People walk over pennies outside. I'm the penny queen. And say, thank you, Lord, for finding money. Thank you. People no, not the king, not the queen, baby. No. We pick up the pennies. Because I found out pennies make dollars. I found out change jars can pay a bill. Just throwing change, putting change in a jar, you can pay a cable bill. It's a lot of ways for finances. It's a lot of ways finances have been coming to you, but because it hasn't been coming in big and large bills, you've been discounting it. The more you give to the thing of the Lord, he multiplies. I can't stress this enough. And you say, are you begging? No, I'm not begging. I'm telling you the truth with everything in me. When I started tithing, even though I was messing up money, God would come through. If it wasn't finances, he'd give me favor till it got to me. Tithing is a habit for me. It's a habit. And now I really say, God, because it's all yours. It really is all God's. But he's wanting to teach you how to live off of the 90. And watch it go. Give to him first. You say it's $5, so what? $5. Give it to him. And watch God work. Freedom comes in the giving. It really is. So, Father, I thank you today that you give and it's given back to us. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, men give unto our bosom. So I thank you, Father, that this is very important in the kingdom of God, even though we don't think it is. So we thank you for another opportunity, God, to get it right and to really believe you. It doesn't matter, God. Sometimes if the fear comes, we can always reframe it and say, God, I trust you because you're Jehovah Jireh. You will provide. I thank you today, Father.